Does creatine cause erectile dysfunction? If you are a man over 50 and you have been told that creatine side effects include erectile dysfunction, low testosterone, and that creatine is not safe after 50, stay right here because everything you heard is wrong. New research just proved that creatine after 50 might actually be one of the best supplements for men over 50 dealing with erectile dysfunction over 50. This changes everything. What I am about to reveal about creatine and erectile dysfunction will shock you because the science now says creatine and testosterone have a relationship that nobody is talking about. Do not skip this video. Drop the word active in the comments right now to get my free 30-day workout plan designed specifically for men over 50. Just type active and it is yours. The one study that started the panic and why it was wrong. Let me take you back to 2009 because that is where this entire mess started, and honestly, it is almost comical how one single study managed to terrify millions of men worldwide for over a decade. A group of researchers in South Africa took a bunch of college-aged rugby players, gave them creatine during a loading phase, and measured their hormone levels. What they found was that dihydrotestosterone levels increased by roughly 56% during that loading phase. Now, dihydrotestosterone is a hormone that has been loosely associated with prostate issues and hair loss in some research. So the internet did what the internet does best. It panicked. People connected dots that had no business being connected. They said, well, if dihydrotestosterone goes up, then maybe it messes with your prostate. And if your prostate is affected, then maybe your erections suffer. And if your erections suffer, then creatine must be the villain. That is like saying because it rained on Tuesday and you got a flat tire on Wednesday, the rain caused your flat tire. That is not how science works, gentlemen. Here is what makes this even more ridiculous. That study has never been replicated. Not once in 15 years. A massive review published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition in 2021 looked at over 12 studies examining creatine and hormonal profiles. The conclusion was crystal clear. There is no consistent evidence that creatine meaningfully alters dihydrotestosterone levels or testosterone levels. One study with young rugby players from 15 years ago should not be the reason a 55-year-old man avoids one of the most researched and beneficial supplements on the planet. That is like refusing to use a cell phone because someone in 2009 told you it would microwave your brain. But wait, it gets better. Even if dihydrotestosterone did go up slightly, and we have no reliable evidence that it does, that would not cause erectile dysfunction anyway. Dihydrotestosterone actually plays an important role in male sexual function. It supports libido and arousal. So even the theoretical concern falls apart the moment you look at the actual biology. The fear was based on bad logic stacked on top of unreplicated data. That is a house of cards, gentlemen, and I just knocked it over. If this is already blowing your mind, do me a favor and hit that like button right now. It tells the algorithm to show this video to more men who need to hear this, and it costs you nothing but a thumb tap. Creatine might actually be protecting your erections, and here is the proof. Now here is where this gets genuinely exciting, and where most videos on this topic completely drop the ball because nobody talks about what I am about to tell you. Erectile dysfunction after 50 is overwhelmingly a vascular problem. Let me say that plainly so there is no confusion. Your erection depends on blood flow. Blood has to flow into the right place, at the right pressure, and stay there. If your blood vessels are damaged, stiff, or clogged, it does not matter how much desire you have or how attractive your partner is. The plumbing has to work. Period. So the real question is not whether creatine hurts your blood vessels. The real question is whether creatine helps them. And the emerging research says yes, it might actually help. A study published in 2023 in the journal Clinical Nutrition found that creatine supplementation may support endothelial function by helping to reduce homocysteine levels. Now let me explain why that matters because this is the part most people have never heard. Homocysteine is an amino acid that when elevated damages the inner lining of your blood vessels. That lining is called the endothelium, and it is the tissue responsible for producing nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is literally the molecule that relaxes your blood vessels and allows blood to flow in and create an erection. Every single erectile dysfunction medication on the market works by enhancing the nitric oxide pathway. That is the mechanism. That is the whole game. So if creatine helps lower homocysteine, and lower homocysteine means healthier endothelium, and healthier endothelium means better nitric oxide production. Then creatine is actually supporting the exact biological pathway that your erections depend on. The supplement that men feared was destroying their bedroom performance may literally be protecting it. If that is not the plot twist of the century, I do not know what is. But there is more. A 2023 study from the University of Sao Paulo found that creatine supplementation combined with resistance training in older adults significantly improved arterial compliance. Arterial compliance is a fancy term for how flexible and responsive your blood vessels are. Stiff arteries are one of the primary causes of both high blood pressure and erectile dysfunction in men over 50. So creatine paired with weight training is making your arteries more flexible, more responsive, and better at delivering blood where it needs to go. Let me paint the full picture for you. Creatine helps you build more muscle. More muscle improves your metabolic health. Better metabolic health reduces your risk of diabetes, which is one of the leading causes of erectile dysfunction worldwide. Creatine supports your vascular health. Better vascular health means better blood flow. Better blood flow means better erections. Creatine gives you more energy in the gym. More energy means better workouts. Better workouts mean higher natural testosterone. Higher testosterone means stronger libido. Everything is connected, gentlemen, and creatine is sitting right in the middle of that web, supporting almost every system that matters for your sexual health. And by the way, if you have not commented active yet to get my free 30-day workout plan for men over 50, you are missing out. This plan is designed to maximize every single benefit I just described. Drop active in the comments, and I will send it straight to you. What is actually destroying your erections after 50 and nobody is talking about it? All right, now that we have established that creatine is your friend and not your enemy, let us talk about the real villains, because these are the things that are actually wrecking your performance, and most men have no idea. The first one is going to surprise a lot of you. Sleep apnea. Obstructive sleep apnea affects an estimated 20 to 30% of men over 50, and most of them do not even know they have it. Here is the connection that almost nobody makes. When you stop breathing during sleep, your oxygen levels plummet. When oxygen drops, your body produces stress hormones. When stress hormones spike, your nitric oxide production tanks. Remember, nitric oxide is the molecule you absolutely need for erections. A study published in 2023 in the journal Sleep Medicine found that men who treated their sleep apnea with a continuous positive airway pressure machine saw significant improvements in erectile function within just 3 months. 3 months. So if your partner has been telling you that you snore like a diesel truck, that is not just an annoyance. It might be the reason things are not working the way they should. Get a sleep study done. Your love life might depend on it. The second villain is visceral fat. Not just being overweight, but specifically carrying fat around your midsection. Visceral fat is metabolically active tissue that produces inflammatory compounds called cytokines, and it also converts testosterone into estrogen through an enzyme called aromatase. So the more belly fat you carry, the more your body is literally turning your male hormones into female hormones. A 2023 study published in the journal Obesity Reviews found that men with a waist circumference above 40 inches had nearly double the risk of erectile dysfunction compared to men with a waist circumference below 35 inches. That is not a small difference, gentlemen. That is a massive increase in risk directly tied to what is happening around your midsection. The third villain is one that will make some of you very uncomfortable, and that is your medications. Beta blockers for blood pressure are notorious for causing erectile dysfunction. Certain statins can contribute. Selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, which are commonly prescribed antidepressants, are one of the worst offenders. Even over-the-counter antihistamines that you take for allergies can temporarily impair erectile function. I am absolutely not telling you to stop taking prescribed medications. Please do not do that. What I am telling you is to have an honest, direct conversation with your doctor about side effects and whether there are alternative medications that might be less likely to affect your sexual function. Doctors hear this question every single day. You are not going to shock them. You are not going to embarrass them. They went to medical school. They have seen and heard everything. The fourth villain is chronic stress, and I mean the kind of low-grade constant stress that men over 50 often carry without even realizing it. Financial pressure, career transitions, aging parents, changing relationships, health concerns. All of this produces cortisol. Cortisol is the direct antagonist of testosterone. When cortisol goes up, testosterone comes down. It is a biological seesaw, and chronic stress keeps cortisol permanently elevated, which keeps testosterone permanently suppressed. A 2022 study in psychoneuroendocrinology found that men with chronically elevated cortisol levels had significantly lower free testosterone and reported higher rates of sexual dysfunction. Managing stress is not a luxury, gentlemen. It is a medical necessity for your hormonal health and your sexual health. And here is one more that almost nobody mentions: sedentary behavior. Not just the absence of exercise, but prolonged sitting specifically. Research published in 2023 in the American Journal of Men's Health found that men who sat for more than 6 hours per day had a 40% higher risk of erectile dysfunction compared to men who sat for less than 3 hours per day, even after adjusting for exercise habits. So even if you work out for an hour a day, sitting for 8 hours at a desk is still damaging your vascular health and your erectile function. Get up, move, walk, take breaks. Your body and your bedroom performance will thank you. Now do me a favor and smash that like button if you are learning something new today. And if you are still here, you are clearly serious about your health, which is exactly the kind of man who needs my free 30-day workout plan. Comment active below and I will send it to you. Your exact game plan for creatine and peak performance after 50. Let us wrap this up with exactly what you need to do starting today. No fluff, no confusion, just a clear step-by-step approach. Creatine monohydrate, 3 to 5 grams every single day. Not creatine hydrochloride, not creatine ethyl ester, not buffered creatine, not some overpriced proprietary blend in a fancy bottle with a lightning bolt on it. Plain creatine monohydrate. It is the most studied form on earth with over 700 peer-reviewed studies behind it, and it costs about $15 for a 2-month supply. Any company charging you $40 for some special creatine formula is robbing you in broad daylight. Take it any time of day. Morning, afternoon, evening, it does not matter. Consistency matters. Take it every day whether you train or not. Your muscles and your brain store creatine, and you want those stores full at all times. Skip the loading phase. You do not need 20 grams a day for a week. Just start at 3 to 5 grams daily, and within 3 to 4 weeks you will be fully saturated. No stomach issues, no bloating, no unnecessary trips to the bathroom during your morning meeting. Now pair that creatine with resistance training 3 to 4 times per week. 30 to 45 minutes per session is plenty. Focus on compound movements: squats, deadlifts, rows, overhead presses, bench presses. These movements recruit the most muscle, produce the greatest hormonal response, and build the functional strength that keeps you independent and capable as you age. A 2023 study from the University of Parma in Italy found that men over 50 who resistance trained consistently 3 times per week had testosterone levels comparable to sedentary men 15 years younger. Lifting weights literally turns back your hormonal clock. That is not an exaggeration. That is published peer-reviewed science. Add citrulline to your daily routine. 1.5 to 3 grams per day. Citrulline converts to arginine in your body, which then converts to nitric oxide. A 2022 study in the journal Urology found that 1.5 grams of citrulline daily improved erection hardness scores in men with mild erectile dysfunction. It is safe, it is natural, and it directly supports the nitric oxide pathway. You can also eat more watermelon because watermelon rind is one of the richest natural sources of citrulline. Yes, the rind. I know nobody eats the rind. Maybe blend it into a smoothie and pretend you are being adventurous. Get your vitamin D levels tested. Most men over 50 are deficient, and vitamin D is directly involved in testosterone production. A 2023 study in the European Journal of Endocrinology confirmed that men with adequate vitamin D levels had significantly higher free testosterone compared to deficient men. Aim for blood levels between 40 and 60 nanograms per milliliter. Most men need between 2,000 and 5,000 international units per day to get there, but test first so you know your starting point. Take 300 to 400 milligrams of magnesium glycinate before bed. Magnesium supports testosterone production, sleep quality, muscle recovery, and over 300 enzymatic reactions in your body. A 2022 study in Biological Trace Element Research showed magnesium supplementation significantly improved testosterone levels in men who were previously deficient. The glycinate form is gentle on your stomach and actually promotes better sleep, which is critical because poor sleep is one of the fastest ways to tank your testosterone. Get your cardiovascular health checked. If you are experiencing any degree of erectile dysfunction, please see your doctor. A study published in the Journal of the American College of Cardiology found that erectile dysfunction often appears 3 to 5 years before a major cardiac event. Your body is sending you a warning signal. Do not ignore it. Do not be embarrassed about it. Act on it. And finally, address the lifestyle factors we talked about. Manage your stress. Treat your sleep apnea if you have it. Reduce your sitting time. Get your waist circumference below 40 inches. Every single one of these changes will compound over time, and the results will show up everywhere. In your energy, in your strength, in your confidence, and yes, in your bedroom. You now have the information. You now have the game plan. The only thing left is action. Comment active right now to get my free 30-day workout plan for men over 50. It is designed to work hand in hand with everything I shared today. Just type active and I will get it to you. If this video helped you, hit like, subscribe, and share it with a man who needs to hear this. There are too many guys out there avoiding a supplement that could genuinely improve their quality of life because of one bad study from 2009.